In today's cybersecurity analyst course series, we are looking at how to create database. We're looking at the challenge of how to create database, create tables. Basically, we're looking at an example here of a school. Let's call the school tech school generally. In this tech school, we're going to create a database for it and then create a table. Basically, just include some data just to test the MySQL. So this is going to be very simple, but I will always love you to follow me so that you can understand it better. In the last class, we were able to look at how to install MySQL. So we have MySQL installed in our Linux, and if you don't know how to do that, you need to go back to the last class and actually follow the video. In today's video, we'll start this way. Connect to our MySQL. So use sudo, then MySQL. But I want to connect it to the root. If I just do sudo MySQL, it's going to connect. So there's nothing much there. With this, you say welcome to MySQL monitor and give you basic instructions on what to do. So in case you make mistake, just use this C slash like this slash and small letter C. It's going to just clear. Okay. Now you can start. Let's create database. So use the word create. We always use capital letter to write the SQL command so that it's easy to differentiate it from things like maybe the database name or the table name or all of that. So we create database name called tech school. Then when you are using, look at the instruction here. Anytime welcome to MySQL, commands must end with, look at it now, this or this. So it must end with this. So we have to end it with this, then put enter. Good. It's correct. Say query okay, one row affected. That's good. You are good to go. The next thing is that you have to select the database you want to use. If we don't select it, it won't know what to do. So you have to select and tell it use tech school. So if there are a lot of databases there, we are selecting the database you should use for what we want to do. Use tech school, then press enter. Database change. You are still correct and good to go. Next, to create table. Now, when we are creating table, have at the back of your mind, think about Excel. Excel is arranged in rows and columns. At the top, at the header, you are able to have maybe your name, your class, like if you are giving a register to write as a teacher, name, class, student score, mark, and all of that. So those are the headings, right? Then you can now impute the values for all of these things. So the names, we need to write the names. Ajayi Samuel, number 1. His class is SS2. His score is test is 30. His exam score is 50. Total is 80. Then maybe his percentage is 80%. Whatever it is, you need to fill in the values. That's exactly what we're going to do here. It's going to be, if you have the knowledge of Excel or even the simple spreadsheet, anyone where you can arrange things in rows and columns, you are good to go. So we are going to create database table, and then let's call the table students. So you can see that I'm using a small letter for the database table name. Create table, this is in capital letter, then students is in small letter. Opening bracket. Then the first thing is the ID. ID is the identity of the students. We want the ID to be in integer form. Then we want the name to be a basic text, just in text form. We want the course that they are studying to be in a text form too. And we want the score to be in integer form. So we are using integers for name, integer for sorry, for IDs, because there are numbers that can increase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're also using that for scores into that. Then for name, you can use text. For course, you can use text. So can you see that we made a mistake, right? You're supposed to put comma at the back of text, comma, then score, then integer also. Then close this bracket, then put a semicolon. Very important. Then press enter. Query okay, 0 rows affected, so this query is fine. Everything looks perfect. Next thing is to see how we can insert into this table the values. We need to insert values to this table. So we use the word insert, that's the command, into what is the table name? Students. Insert into students. Let's give the things we want to insert. Want to insert ID, want to insert the name, want to insert into course, insert the headings of the table, and then score. So insert, this looks like, now all of these things look like the headings, right? So these are kind of the headings of the table. Then we want to now insert the values to them. So use capital letter for values, make a space after this simple values. For these values now, we're going to do something. So remember how it's going to be arranged. Open your bracket. 1 is going to be arranged for ID. ID is 1. Then name, let's give the name. Let's call it. So name has to be in this thing now. Look at it. Yeah, it has to be like this. So let's call the name Felix. Felix Chike. Felix Chike. Alright, good. So observe, numbers are written as bare numbers, but in terms of letters, they are written inside the apostrophe. So the course now is cybersecurity. So I'm doing that, comma, the score. Remember, the score is an integer too, so it has to be bare. The score is 85. Alright, I'm closing my bracket. So I'm done with row 1 now, comma. So let me do for row 2 also. 2, comma, name, let's call the name Joshua Taiwo. Okay. Then the course, let's call the course data analyst. Data analysis. That's the course. Then the score, let's give it 90. 90 and the score. That's to be able to close that. Comma. Let's open the third one. And the number should be 3 now. 3. The name should, let's give the name as Belumi Michael. Comma. Let's give the course as cloud. Okay, the course as cloud engineering. Cloud engineering. This has to be, it has to be, it has to be like this. Cloud engineer will help and correct. Then let's give the score of 88. You guys are very good. The last but not the least now is for, and let's give the name as what name of people. Ada 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 Kende. Okay, let's give our own course as still cybersecurity. Then let's give our own let's give our own score as 72. Okay, so we can close this. Then we can end it with semi. So if we didn't make any mistake, we should be good to go. So we said query okay, 4 rows affected, it has created 4 rows. Remember, these are the headings 1, 2, 3, 4. Then these are the contents. We are inserting into this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the row number 1, row number 2, row number 2, row number 3, then row number 4. So we have 4 rows already good. With this one, we are good to go. Now it's time for us to view the students. Let us view all the students. How do we view the students? So we can say to view, use the word select. Select all, which is for all. From we are selecting from students table, right? Students table. So if we are selecting all from students table, we have to end with a semicolon. We press enter. So this is the table. So you can see the table here. ID, name, course, and score. Right. So this is the table here. So this is exactly what we said, like Excel. ID is here, name is here, course is here, score is here. One is Spanish TK, cybersecurity 85. Just simple like this. So, but if you have multiple things, you can just copy and paste. So it doesn't have to be. You have to write this one to learn and practice anyway. So let's now filter cybersecurity students only. So cybersecurity students only. How do you do that? You say the word select. Select from which table? Select all. Asterisk is for all. From the table called students. Okay. So we want to do a filter now, specific condition, where course is equal to cybersecurity. Remember that cybersecurity has to be here and approach like this. Then we press your semicolon. So what we are saying here is select from everything from the table, which is the name of the table is students, where course is cybersecurity. With this and press enter, you can see that people that are doing cybersecurity is Felix TK and Ada Kennedy. This is the people doing cybersecurity. That's 2 rows, which is correct. Now, another thing is show students that are above 80. So how do you do that? You select students above 80. Okay. What we're going to do is select name, comma, and score. We want to share students above 80 from the table of students. So please do this thing yourself. With the condition where score is greater than 80. Remember, you have to put a semicolon, press enter. So People that scored above 80 is Felix Chike, Joshua Taiwo, and Pelumi Michael. They all scored above 80. Now we want to do the last challenge here, which is count how many students are in each course. To count the students in each course, you have to do a select course, comma, then you are doing a count function, count, this is the count function to count number of students. Count function as total underscore students from students. So you're grouping it by group by course. So this function yeah, there's a mistake here. So I'm thinking I found my mistake. Press enter. So I made a mistake here. There's supposed to be no space between the count and the star asterisk. So with this now, I've gotten total number of students. So let's call count function total number of students as total students from the student table, and we group them by course. So we have cybersecurity 2 students, data analysis 1 student, cloud engineering 1 student.